Hey, what's going on, everybody? Paul Turner here from the discipleproject.net, here with a request video. Someone requested that I do a reaction to All That Matters by Skillet, and so I said I'm going to do that. The reason I'm doing that, too, I happen to be a Skillet fan. I've been a Skillet fan for a long time. Not a fan of all their albums, but I am somewhat optimistic about the newest album coming out called Revolution on November 1st. And so I'm catching up with some of the videos and offer a little commentary as I go. And so if you're interested in me doing a reaction to a video of some kind, well, you can go ahead and leave that down in the comments there. If you're brand new here to the channel, thank you so much for being here. I predominantly do videos about youth ministry, but I think Skillet and youth ministry are pretty well connected. They have written some bangers of songs that I've used in my youth ministry over the years and have written into Bible studies and things like that. So Skillet is very much a pro youth ministry band, I think, because they love the church, they love young people, and so I'm happy to do videos like this that kind of highlight them. So let's go and take a look at All That Matters.
I don't want to start a fight. I always try to do what's right. So put your weapons down. We can work it out. Don't get me.
Back with the cowboy hat, by the way, again. I like the cowboy hat. John, keep the cowboy hat, because he had that in the unpopular video. It's a good look. You need to keep that hat.
Wrong. I ain't no pacifist. For peace, gotta pay a price. I'll defend what is mine. Fight for what I love. Help me God above. All it takes is one to rise up and resist. Cost you everything when you're at war. These three things I die for. My faith, my family, my freedom. That's what's beckoning.
Faith, family, freedom. Strong message. What matters, right? What is really going to matter here in this life? We die for the things that matter most to us. And John says it's faith, it's family, it's freedom. So far, so good. Enjoying it.
Be a reason for living. I gotta fight for what I believe in. Love, loyalty, I place fidelity. In this land of liberty is everything. My faith, my family, my freedom's all that matters to me. A kid arrested in the town. He read the verses too loud, but burn the cities down. Celebs will bail you out. Where did we go wrong? I can't make sense of this.
I don't know the background. on it. It says reading the verses too loud. I do remember, and maybe this is the same story, and I'll link it down below if it is, or even if it's not, but the reference to somebody reading the scriptures too loud, I think, was of a pastor in Seattle who was arrested for simply being, he was out in it was a protest that was going on, and he was out, maybe it was a pro-abortion rally, something like that maybe, and he was just out there reading the scriptures. The scriptures, I don't even know if it had anything to do with the subject at hand, but he was just reading scripture out loud, and they wound up arresting him, and recently that was resolved. So I'll leave a link down below to that story. Let's go ahead and continue.
Just leave the kids alone. Better not break into this home. Cause where I come from, we always stand as one. Where we belong, we won't stand for this. Cost you everything when you're at war. These three things I die for. My faith, my family.
It does cost you everything. It really does. I mean, if you think about we live in a world where people will compromise on a lot of things to get a lot of places, to know a lot of people, and I think at the end of the day, there's, you can't compromise. You can't compromise. Not when it comes to when these three things, when you're talking about faith, family, and freedom, there's little to no compromise in the sense of the core of what you believe about those three things. There's no compromise on that. And I think that's what John is saying here. Listen, you can't, it's going to cost you something. It's part of being a disciple. It's part of being a Christian that, is that if you're going to follow Jesus, it's going to cost you. Jesus said himself, listen, there's a cost to this. Who builds a tower and doesn't first map out how much it's going to cost to build that tower, lest you should get to the end and then the thing sits in ruins, and then, you know, it's just a testament of the fact that you didn't count the cost. You didn't count the cost when you said, I'm going to follow Jesus. You know, we think Jesus is just going to church and, you know, going to a Bible study or owning a Bible, maybe reading our Bible. And it comes down to a little bit more than that, I think.
Freedom, that's what's back in me. Gives me a reason for living. I gotta fight for what I believe in. Believe it. Love, loyalty, I place fidelity. In this land of liberty is everything. My faith, my family, my freedom's all that matters to me.
I gotta say, I love all the family photos. I think this is just such a cool trip down memory lane through Skillet's life and through John's life, and I think it's cool to see these pictures of, you know, all of his kids and playing instruments and these really cool family moments. And of course, you know, you see all these really great happy moments, but I'm sure that through the journey, there's been some times and places where things have not been very happy. Things have not been you know, all uphill. You know, there's, you know, as families, we don't know full stories, right? We see the pictures people show us, but guaranteed, you know, there's been some cost and there's been some prices to pay. And, you know, when bands like this who refuse to compromise in the area of music or compromise in their faith or compromise those things, I mean, those are the bands you have to look at and go, you know, those are bands that I appreciate. Those are bands that I say, okay, they are fairly linear. They're going to be straight ahead. There's very little fluctuation. These are the things that matter, and that's what makes listening to them, for as many years that I've listened to them, really kind of, you know, it's nice to see. It's nice to see continuity. It's nice to see consistency in bands, I think. It's just me, though. What do you think? Leave me a comment down below about maybe some long-term bands you've enjoyed listening to that have kind of stayed pretty consistent, both in message and faith and things like that. I'd love to hear from you.
When darkness divides us, I believe that love can conquer all. Courageous, united, we stand or fall. My faith, my family, my freedom. My faith, my family, my freedom. That's what's back in me. Gives me a reason for living. I gotta fight for what I believe in. Believe it. Love, loyalty, I place fidelity. In this land of liberty is everything. My faith, my family, my freedom's all that matters to me.
Well, that's it. That is All That Matters by Skillet. What did you think about it? I enjoyed it. I think it's just a solid song. Is it you know, top tier all time? I think this is a good song. I think it's just it's something you're going to listen to, that I would listen to. If it was on the radio, I probably wouldn't turn it. You know those songs that you get on your radio sometimes, you go, oh, I haven't heard this in a while, or it's very you know, drivable in a way that you're kind of just grooving with it. I think that's what this is. But I'd like to know your opinion. What do you think about the song? Do you think Skillet's Revolution will be a huge hit? What do you think of the other songs on there? By the way, if you're a youth pastor or you're a youth leader or you're a volunteer and you're looking for material to teach your kids, I've done a full study on the song Unpopular. It inspired me to write this 4-part series on being unpopular. And the 4 parts that looks at Daniel being really unpopular, Gideon being unpopular, Paul being unpopular, and Jesus being unpopular. What made them unpopular? What did it cost them? And why we as a generation need to be a little bit more unpopular in our culture by loving people, caring for people. Did you know that's unpopular? Tell them the truth. It's unpopular. So if you are interested at all in the Unpopular series, I'll put a link down in the description below. But once again, love to hear from you. Leave me some comments down below. What do you think about the song? Also, if you're brand new here to the channel and you'd like more videos like this, go ahead and click the subscribe button down there, and be sure to go and click the thumbs up button as well if you like the video. That way I know you like more videos like this. If you want to check out my reaction to Unpopular, by the way, I'll put that up in here as well. And I will see you guys in the next video. We'll talk to you guys later.